Hi, welcoming to Sciencing with the Doctor Kitchen Edition. Tonight I'm making crystals to decorate a science table. I am teaching at Wichita Comic Con and Science Fiction Fair this Saturday, August 27th, and I wanted something fun to do to put on my table. So I'm going to make a couple different jars of crystals. These are really easy and fun to do at home, and basically what we're going to do is take something that naturally occurs in a crystal or mineral form. One is sugar, and the other is borax. We're going to put the sugar, or your solid, which is called a solute, inside of water, which is a solvent, and dissolve it. And we're going to put so much in it that the water can't take any more of the solid and dissolve it. Then we're going to put our structure in for the crystals to grow on, wait a couple days, and let them go. So it's pretty easy and fast. You do have to exercise a little patience a couple of days for the crystals to grow. I mean, come on, we are doing in the kitchen what took Mother Nature millions of years to do. So 3 days isn't too bad. Borax is actually a pretty neat substance. It is a mineral called sodium tetraborate. And that's not going to focus for me. It is a detergent booster and household cleaner. It's a naturally occurring mineral they just mined right out of the earth. And it's refined to a nice, soft, granular texture for putting in a box. So basically what we're going to do with both the sugar and the borax when we make the different kinds of crystals is just to let them come back and biochemically form into their natural shapes. So really simple. I'm going to put jars over here for sugar and water, and jars over here for the borax. So what we're going to do, it's really simple. You need a jar, something for your crystals to grow on. Pipe cleaners are great. The other thing you can do is hang your pipe cleaner off of a pencil so you can pick it up out of the solution. And I just got a couple of shish kebab skewers to try and let the sugar crystals grow up to see what shape they're going to come out. Borax just needs borax and boiling water, and the sugar crystals just need sugar and water. You can optionally food color them, and so I'll do one green, one blue. I'll leave one clear just to see what I think of it, and maybe do one red. So what we're going to do, one at a time, is put borax into our jar. I'm going to start by pouring some of the borax into each cup, and after my water starts to boil, which is just about there, I'll stir and stir and stir until I can't get any more of the solid to dissolve into the water. And how you can tell that's what's happened is you'll get a little cloudy film on the bottom of your jar. And as it dissolves, then I'll just simply add more. Okay, this is what a jar looks like that's full of water and borax. There's it's a little hard to see, but there's kind of a thicker white layer at the bottom. And I'm going to add a little bit of Doctor Who Blue. Maybe about 20 drops to make it good and bright blue. Okay, stir that in. So this is my crystal solution, water and borax. Now you can start to see the solute at the bottom that won't go into solution. There's that little white edge. All we're going to do with this is stick our growth medium, which is the skewer and a pipe cleaner in water. The one thing about this is you're going to want to put it somewhere where it can sit still and undisturbed for a few days. So as we're waiting, that will start to cool and the crystal will grow on it. I'm going to go ahead and color this one maybe red. You know what, maybe I'll leave this one clear. I'll give it a good stir. I'm going to leave this one clear because I used a multicolored medium for the crystals to grow up. So I'll just kind of see how it goes through. So that's my sodium borate, my borax. And actually I can see some of the dye from the pipe cleaners leaching out into there, so I think it's going to end up being kind of a green color. And I'll go ahead and reheat my water and do the same thing with the sugar here in just a minute. Okay, now I have just good old-fashioned sugar and water to make sugar crystals. Flavored or plain, this is exactly how you make rock candy. So I'm going to fill those with hot water. Add sugar until it dissolves, and keep adding sugar until it won't dissolve anymore. My sugar is a brown color because it happens to be a raw, unfiltered sugar cane as opposed to a bleached sugar, so it may make a different color, that lighter brown color, but I happen to eat natural unbleached sugar, so that's what I have in the house to do this. Just let it keep stirring until they dissolve. This is a great project to do over a week for a science fair or just for fun, to learn the process of how you can dissolve a solid into a liquid and let it keep processing, and it will come out, and those solids will end up reforming into their natural crystal shape. So it looks like the tall jar could use some more sugar. And I'm just curious as I'm doing this to see which crystals I like better, whether it's the sugar crystals or the borax crystals. I don't know how they're going to end up growing or forming. And so we'll just see what we come up with. And now there is no more sugar that's going to dissolve into that water. There's a little bit of sugar at the bottom, and I'm going to leave it there because that lets me know that my water or my solution is completely saturated with the solid or the solute. Because my sugar is the natural sugar that's already a little bit brown, I'm adding a fair amount of red dye to it just to get a pretty color for the crystals. And I'll go ahead and drop my growth medium, my skewer, and my pencil with the pipe cleaner on it into the medium. We'll let it sit for a few days and see what we get. Also, obviously that's wicked boiling hot, so you might want to be really careful before you grab your jars. And I'm very curious now to see if my natural sugars will stay this golden brown color or if they're going to go ahead and fade to a different color. So I'm going to leave this undyed I'll check back in an hour and see what the growth is, and then in 24 hours and 48, and if they come out like they should, I'll bring them to the science fair. Thanks so much for Sciencing with the Doctor Kitchen Edition. Okay, so it's about an hour later, and the first crystals I'm going to look at are the borax crystals. This one's sticking to the bottom pretty good, actually, so there's already starting to be some pretty neat borax crystal growth on here. It's not going to focus very well because it's a kind of an inexpensive little eye flip. But I've got nice crystal growth that's starting to form. And it's a great color, and there's a really nice structure to it. So I'll put that guy back in there and let him keep sitting for another 24 hours. And this is kind of stuck on the bottom, and so it's actually forming a beautiful crystal structure growing right up the pipe cleaner. So I'll just tuck that one back in and let it continue to grow. So the borax crystals are actually coming along really pretty. Oops. Getting all twisted up there. So just let those guys continue to sit. Keep cooking. And then we have the borax crystal that I made the triangular shape. And I can see crystals forming on this one too. Actually, these are forming extremely fast. If you can kind of see the bottom of it there, they're chunked up and it's coming out beautifully, actually. There's a crystalline structure across the bottom, coming up the sides of the pipe cleaners. I'm not sure why I can't say pipe cleaners tonight. And so now we'll take a look at the sugar ones, which are doing nothing. Well, that's interesting. And I'm not sure if that's because I didn't get enough sugar in it, or if these take a longer time to develop. But definitely the sugar crystals aren't forming yet. So the borax are amazing. Sugar crystals, check on tomorrow. Okay, it's been about 24 hours since I made my sugar crystals and my borax crystals, so we're going to take a look at them. The borax crystals are growing beautifully well. I had looked at them this morning and went ahead and flipped over my pipe cleaner configuration to let more crystals grow on the top. But if you take a look toward the bottom, there's crystals that have really kind of grown up everywhere. Plus, you can see a bunch of crystals down at the bottom of this jar. So I had flipped this over. We'll just let it keep cooking. The crystals inside of the other borax jar are growing beautifully up their stick medium and on their curly Q pipe cleaner. Also, there's a pretty phenomenal growth rate right up the jar. So the crystals will kind of grow anywhere you give them a chance to grow. So the borax has grown fast and has made a really pretty configuration. My sugar crystals right now are kind of a failure. I got nothing. So also they can take 3 to 7 days to start growing. They also may have just been that I didn't use enough sugar. I didn't get the water to dissolve hot enough. That's kind of one of the adventures of science is, did it work or did it fail, and why, and what can you do to go back and change it? So I'll give it up to a week, and if it didn't work, I'll go back and try it again.